Yeah, what's going on, everybody? The Boxing Source here checking in as we have an upcoming fight card in Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, Arizona. And we're glad to have this guest on with us who will be on this card facing Oscar Alvarez in the super lightweight division. He is going into this bout undefeated with 21 wins, with 9 of those wins by way of knockout. He is based in Arizona and is eager to step in the ring on Saturday night. We have Trini Ochoa joining us here. What's going on?
How's it going? Felt like I was about to walk into the ring right there. You got a good announcement speech right there. That was tight.
Oh, I've been working on that, but I kind of like base things out of WW, well, it's WWF, not WWE. You know what I'm saying? So how would
Yeah.
think it was like, my God, with this, introduction and everything like that. So trying to, be kind of like that.
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, hey, we're just a few days away there before you face Oscar Alvarez there. That's going to be live on the zone. And it's been some time, since you've had your last fight there. But going into this bout here, what has been your mentality through camp preparing for this fight?
Uh, Same as usual, just work hard. Every camp it goes better. We work harder. We prepare correctly. We watch, we study our opponent and adapt accordingly, my style and everything. Just hard work. Hard work.
Gotcha, man. Now, of course, you built up your record there with 21 wins. Looking to get win number 22 this Saturday. The last time we spoke, it was pretty much like about a year ago, actually.
Yeah.
You were preparing for your bout against Highland Williams Jr. You got the win there, and then after that, you were able to get a win over Francisco Cuadrado in April. Now, given that you are the WBC USA super lightweight champion, what are your plans on to climb up those rankings and then eventually get a world title shot?
Well, right now, Matchroom is giving me a good opportunity here to fight on the undercard of this fight. It's gonna get my name out there and give me an opportunity to display my skills on a bigger platform to a wider audience.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, I'm grateful for that. That's the first step in the direction. And right now, I'm mostly just focused on this fight and getting an excellent, beautiful win. Um, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, that's step one right there. Just making sure you're taking care of business there on Saturday night, and then you'll be able to move forward there. I don't know if we got to make a few phone calls or additional phone calls there to Eddie Hearn or whatever it is over there at Matchroom, but say, hey, just make sure you check out Trini Ochoa and his performance here on Saturday night. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Now, with this fight card being on the zone, that's key as in your past number of fights, you've been featured there at the Celebrity Theater in Phoenix for most of your career. But now, fight fans all over the world will be able to see you there in action. Now, all right, we talk about the thing there with Matchroom and promoter and Eddie Hearn and all that, but it's time for you to be a promoter, right? Okay. How would you promote yourself leading into this bout against Alvarez to get people amped up to see you in action?
If you like the sweet science of boxing and a good footwork, a well-rounded fighter, and a beautiful display of pure skill and strength in the ring, come check me out for this fight this Saturday. I'm gonna display put all of that on display, everything I know.
Hey, I got the skills. Hey, that's it. I got the skills. You once you tune in on Saturday night, you're gonna see them skills in the ring. That would kind of,
Yeah,
I guess that would kind of like be the way you would kind of do it.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Now, you've been there over in Arizona, and you've been also, not just with what's going on inside the ring, but also outside of the ring. There is, you've been involved in a number of charity events that have been happening there for some time now. But there was like one that was kind of recent there a couple of months ago, if I'm not mistaken. How was that event, and what does it mean to you to contribute to your community there?
I mean, it's the most I could ask for. The community is what brings me to the position I'm in right now, to be able to give back. They're the ones who support me, who give me this, who make my name and bring me up to vision by from the bigger companies and bigger promoters and stuff. It's all because of fans who come out to my fights to support me by shirts, by t-shirts and everything. So the least I could do is to give back to the community and to those who need it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's the thing, man. They kind of like invested into you, believing in you. They're coming up, while being there as like an amateur, and then starting as a professional and everything like that. So you're just giving back on that front. It's like one thing. to have the community behind you, but of course, having your family behind you is a lot. Kind of like seeing your dad be there, every step of the way. And so, like, talk about your family there while you've been building up this undefeated record.
Well, my family keeps me humble too because I know they've helped me so much along this way, and I wouldn't be even remotely close to where I am without them. And it's just it's important for me. I'm always trying to go to all the family events I can and participate with everybody and show everybody the love they give me whenever they go out to the fights. If you ever been to one of my fights at the Celebrity Theater, you could see how deep they roll. They show up and it's loud. I pack that place and it gets loud.
Yeah, like I was mentioning there, what has it been like over? Maybe it's been about what 14? I think 14 of your fights have been there in the
Yeah.
theater or something like that. So yeah, you definitely were able to build up a crowd there, and then now it's kind of like getting you to this next step. You recently like entered in to at least the WBC rankings as being there as the USA champion there in the super lightweight division there. So with that, I talk about potentially moving up those rankings there in the super lightweight division. I know that there's like one other fight that should be there at super lightweight within this particular card. There, I think it involves Emiliano Vargas, if I'm not mistaken. So we do have some action that's going to be happening within this card at super lightweight, but also, with you kind of like contending there at 140 pounds, it kind of like says, hey, we got this action going on here, with you here against Oscar Alvarez and then with Emiliano Vargas against Agustin Quintana. So it's like, hey, after you get, take care of business with your fight, who knows what could be next out there for you in the super lightweight division.
Yeah, there's plenty of good fighters out there in the super lightweight division right now, and it's a tough division. And I can't wait to be able to test my skills against those other tough fighters out there.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a number of world champions that recently, fought here, over the past few months. We've had like newly crowned world champions there, you know what I mean? So it's very, very busy out there in the 140-pound division, and you're, looking to get yourself there, into the action. Now, talked about some of the other fights there that's going to be in this card here at the Desert Diamond Arena there. We also had a unified title fight in the main event there with Navarrete versus Nunez, Mexico versus Mexico showdown, man. What are your thoughts about that?
Oh, this is gonna be an exciting fight as always. Navarrete puts on a good show. Him fighting Nunez is just gonna be a great show. Everybody's gonna have a good time, and I'm just excited because I'll be able to be right there watching it too.
Yeah, two very exciting fighters there. This had some really really good moments in the ring while defending their world titles and things like that. So just looking forward to that unification bout. Now, we also have a fighter there in Abel Ramos that's from Arizona. On this card, going up against Tamir Smalls. Right now, have you been in the gym doing some work with Abel Ramos?
Oh yeah, yeah. Recently I sparred one time a few months ago. And plenty of times when over the years as being fellow Arizona fighter,
Yeah.
we see each other in the ring a lot. They're good friends of ours. They're really good people and they show a lot of love. So I can do nothing but give that back.
Yeah, you got, of course, April Ramos there, part of the Ramos family. Jesus Ramos Jr., of course, now standing as was it the WBC interim middleweight champion. So, you definitely got a lot of work there, at least within that particular camp. But, there's like a lot of notable fighters, there within the state, that you're there
Yep.
with. I mean, you got Elijah Garcia that's out there, of course. David Benavidez, Jose Benavidez Jr. has been out there. And y'all had that going on, and of course you had like fighters like the legendary Michael Carbajal, there from
Hmm.
Arizona. Now, here while you're coming up as a professional fighter, what statement would you like to make here in your career in order for you to be the next legendary fighter from Arizona?
Message to myself would be keep working hard, keep focused, stay dedicated, don't let up, pour even more time into your craft than you already are. And give everything, give your all to becoming the best fighter you can be. And with the support and love you have and being a good person, you'll get there.
Yeah, like I said, stay composed, stay cool, take care of business inside the ring, but just stay cool and and compose outside the ring and be a gentleman outside the ring. That's pretty much like the key to it, right there. Like going back into this fight here with Oscar Alvarez, there, he's won his past, I think it was past 5 fights over in Mexico and things like that. So is there like a few things here that you're on the lookout for? Well, they got him like what listed at 6'3", like 6'3".
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
he's a
So
tall guy.
yeah,
We've had good sparring. Shout out to Mickey Scala, out of Arizona too. He's a good fighter. He's tall too. He's like 6'2", 6'1", 6'2". I've been getting sparring with him to get that look, that tall look.
word.
So I've been getting that good work in. It's the perfect sparring I feel like for this camp, and we've been training, we've been sharp, we've been ready, we've been training. We know how to train for different fighters, and in the amateurs, I fought some tall guys too. A couple of my pro fights have been against taller fighters, so it's gonna be nothing new to me. I prefer fighting taller fighters, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Easier to work under those punches and in
Yeah.
between. But yeah, no, I know he's a tough fighter. He's a dog. He's not gonna just flinch if I hit him hard a few times. He's gonna keep going until I make him stop. So. It'll be an exciting fight for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, like you said, with him being around 6'3", like that's pretty much like my height, man. I ain't close to no 140 pounds though. So, but
You're right.
at least he's still, are able to, get that work in camp there with taller fighters that will be like, 6 feet and above. So you know how to like maneuver, shift on the inside if need be, or just seeing what they do with the jab and they just work around that and, work your counter game, on that.
Yep.
So that's, kind of like what you're looking for. Now, just seeing here, with this particular fight here coming up, me, I have that moniker of for fighters. I want to have them be as active as possible. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say like this particular bout here is key. One with it being on the zone, and two, being under Matchroom Boxing. That maybe with a great performance here, that people will want to see you back in action. Much sooner, so that we could get you in the mix like probably by this summer or something like that. You know what I mean? Especially, with you being the WBC USA champion, you want to be able to like get in position to, have more of those fights to get, up in the rankings to get closer to a world title shot.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. I want to get a couple more fights this year, hopefully, ideally. We'll see what my performance this fight sets me up for in the future.
Word, gotcha. Now, I talked about, a few fighters that are, from like Arizona and things like that. Of course, like notable, as I mentioned there with David Benavidez, he does have a fight coming up on May 2nd there against Zurdo Ramirez. Whether they're like, a few fighters that you kind of like watch or, are excited to, see when they're in action.
Yeah, I mean most Arizona fighters, I'm watching every single one of their fights on TV or whatever. Like, and it's just good to see the people I know, my good friends and everybody watching other Arizona fighters succeed. We've never been one to knock other Arizona fighters. I want to bring each other up and I want us all to thrive and
Yeah.
succeed in the state.
Yeah. I understand that completely. I'm, kind of like based in the Washington D.C. area, and we got like a lot of fighters, a lot of notable fighters here too. And I want to see like a number of them just be able to support each other, and we kind of like have that where they go to other guys' fights if it's in the area or not that far far away. So yeah, I like to see that as far as like a brotherhood there for like fighters. That are there within the state. I think we were supposed to. I think we got something with Elijah Garcia has a fight coming up. I think he's going to be on for March 28th too. So you will have an opportunity to see him in action there.
Yep.
After you take care of business in this fight. Now like I said, with going up against Oscar Alvarez here and making that step towards fighting for world title there in the super lightweight division. Like what do you think the landscape is there for super lightweight? Because I've mentioned as far as like the activity that's been going on, at least within these first couple of months, there's been a number of fights there at super lightweight. So we want to see like how we'd be able to get Trini Ochoa there in the mix.
I just got to keep performing and the opportunity will come as long as I keep getting these wins. And I think the opportunity is coming really soon. My people are starting to see me and people are starting to learn who I am with these bigger fights coming to Arizona, especially. And me being on this Matchroom card is gonna, like I said, bring a lot of eyes from not only the people but promoters and other big people in the boxing industry. And it's just gonna set me up for bigger opportunities that I'm gonna need to capitalize on and not shy away from. I'm ready to fight anybody right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's that mentality, man. You got to get in there and you say, "Hey, man, I want to get smoked with everybody. It don't matter." That sometimes you have to have that particular mentality, especially sometimes in boxing, you never know because you could be in the gym, just getting ready or just doing your thing in the gym and stuff like that, and you could get a phone call saying that, "Hey, this particular opponent isn't available. So are you able to, step in and face somebody that could be, higher in the rankings here at the 140-pound division? And you would like, be able to go ahead and take that fight because you know that, hey, you get in the mix, you get the win, and that gets you, much closer to a world title shot.
Yeah, exactly. And I know you were saying it's been a while since I fought, but it's been almost a year now. But I've been in the gym consistently every day, still training, still perfecting my craft, and I haven't let up just in case we do get that phone call. And I plan to continue to do the same after this fight.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Now, one more thing here, kind of like you see something there like outside of the ring, there as far as like, fighting and things like that. We talk about, what you've been doing in the community, but it seems like you may be a little bit of a musician or something like that there. So kind of like going to, that if you could.
Not a musician, more of an artist.
Okay.
Um, my dad's a tattoo artist, so I've always drawn and drawn growing up and stuff. And I just like getting into fun little hobbies, I guess. Like I'm a big nerd too. I play a lot of video games and trading cards and stuff. And like I said, I'm a big artist. I like drawing and doing all that. So just stuff to keep me relaxed while I'm not training and stuff in between training.
I feel you. I feel you, man. You know what? There was a way I probably see if I could make it out there because you were talking about trading cards, and the thing is that I've been, starting up the thing there with trading cards for fighters. I know we got, one of the things as far as like tops doing their thing with trading
Oh
cards,
yeah.
for folks that may be within like certain areas of the country or whatever it is, they might not have a trading card, but I've kind of like started that here and then being able to branch out to like other, events that I've been doing. So I don't know, man, maybe, I'll be able to find out when your next fight is and then see if I could get out there or talk with or get a couple phone calls to, the folks that have been, there in attendance and doing your fights and saying like, hey, let me see if I could arrange something so Trini Ochoa could get a trading card. You know what I'm saying? So we
Yeah, that would
see
be
if we can
awesome.
make
I
that
would love that.
happen.
Yeah.
You know what I
Heck
mean?
yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see if we can work on that. But first, like I said, we got to take care of business here on Saturday night. You have the bout there against Oscar Alvarez that's going to be at the Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, Arizona. There is going to be live on the zone. So y'all be sure to check it out as Trini Ochoa is in action looking to go 22 and 0. Big thanks as always here for chopping it up here with the Bison Source and looking forward to seeing you there on Saturday night.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you and I'm glad to be here.